Definitely remember my first road bike. I was pretty pumped on that. That was like the full, toe clips and, steel bike with down tube shifters.
It was an Alpine Stars, if you know, like the motocross brand. So it was just kind of like this one-off bike they made, and it was a mountain bike, but it was one big fat down tube about yay big the whole way down, and then it kind of split in the bottom. And yeah, I was rocking that for a long time.
My father's always raced bikes. Like I grew up with them. Like they hung above my crib, and I don't think there's ever a single point where I said I want to race bikes. It was always, I knew it before I knew it.
I think I wanted to be a professional athlete because I always did. I tried every sport before I found cycling, even though my family's really tied into it and there's so much family history there. But I tried everything else, I tried flag football and swimming and tennis, and eventually it became cycling.
Pretty early. I was convinced by 14 or 15 that I could make it as a professional. I don't know why I was convinced so early. In 2003, I started up a little junior team. Two of them, Alex and Peter, have managed to make it all the way to the World Tour level. We had a station wagon and a little bit of money from the real estate company that I had started up that year, and we drove that station wagon to every race across the nation that I managed to be able to afford. With any young rider, you see a little bit of what you were at their age. Alex sort of has the same, he likes to think about things a lot. He's a real thinker, and so I see that. It's the way I was at his age, and that he's going to be successful in cycling because of his brain and because of his willpower. Peter is a big talent, and he's also, a little skinny Colorado mountain kid. And and that's what I was at his age as well.
I remember my first big prize money win though, and I was like, wait, I might be able to do this. If I'm making money at this, I might, I really, really like this. I might be able to keep this going.
I don't remember the first time I actually entertained the thought of going pro. I just, I did so many sports, and I was always the most competitive kid in school. I wanted to finish the test first, even if I didn't do the best, and I wanted to peel an orange fastest. I actually raced my buddy in peeling an orange once, and I won.
Probably by the time I was about 14, I was into cycling big time. I was obsessed. That's probably about when I started dreaming of being a pro cyclist.
My mother, she wanted me to go to university. She said, yeah, you first have to get your degree, but I was a little bit sick of school. And my father was a little bit sick of us both arguing, I think. So he said to me, you can stop school and you have 1 year the chance of becoming a professional bike rider.
Got onto a mountain bike and got into cycling through mountain biking. In my first race, only a 20-minute race, but I won it, and I just remember coming back to the car and, telling my parents, I'm like, I'm going to do this when I grow up. And my parents looked at me like, yeah, right.
Kind of my dad, he was always, since I was a kid, since I was 7 or 8 years old, he was always pushing me. But I think without him, I wouldn't be here today because he was always, 100% behind me. He pretty much sent me to a sports school in Germany, and that's when it really started to get serious.
First, my dream was to become professional, and today's tour was really other big dream.
Actually, I remember being told as an amateur, when I was an amateur in France, being told by the older guys not to try so hard at every race because I just burned myself out, and I was like, I remember it making me so angry.
I missed a race one day in Copenhagen, and I just completely lost my mind. I packed all my stuff, and I went back to the airport, and they brought me back, and they calmed me down, because I was like, oh man, I'm not cut out for this. I was 20 years old and just lost. I was so scared, and those experiences they haven't dissipated. I still do those to this day.
The pro level, everyone's talented, everyone's training hard. It is a huge jump from amateur level racing for sure.
The young guys that are coming up, they need to learn that it's a team sport and not an individual sport. It is really a team sport because without your team, you're nothing.
Cycling is an incredibly difficult sport sociologically, meaning inside a team, creating a dynamic where an individual is winning, but yet it's a team sport. And how do you balance everyone's ambitions, everyone's dreams, with the fact that it's only going to be one guy that wins? And that's hard. Football, of course, the quarterback's the star, but in the end of the day, the team wins, not the quarterback individually.
Really, until you turn professional, you don't see true team tactics at play. At the professional level, it doesn't really happen without a team.
I've always believed 100% in team. That's from my roots as a team pursuiter and, kind of one for one, one for all for one kind of thing.
Here we are now. Johan van Summeren has broken away from the pack and he's going it alone, and the crowd is loving it. Surely someone's going to chase him down.
For me, Johan's victory at Roubaix represents what Slipstream is all about, what Garmin-Cervélo is all about. It's my ideal victory.
This is an upset for the books. Who had predicted this morning that Johan van Summeren, the hardest working domestique of them all, will be on his own out front at Paris-Roubaix with just a few kilometers to go?
It seemed like we were always that step ahead the whole race, and it's like, oh man, this is looking good, this is looking good, this is looking good, this is looking better.
The tactics that day were what you hope for, your whole career.
Johan van Summeren crosses the line with his arms in the air. Johan van Summeren wins Paris-Roubaix.
When Johan won Roubaix, everyone was so happy because he's always been so selfless, and it just makes it that much sweeter.
I did good a few times already there, but that's not a guarantee that you will ever win that race. So this year the circumstances were right, also teamwork, we had great tactics. For me it was my best moment in my career. It was my dream, so not everybody can have his dreams come true, but for me that was a dream coming true.
It's just that it was a culmination of all kinds of tiny pieces that beat a greater foe. To me, that's Slipstream, that's Argyle, that's Garmin-Cervélo.
The team time trial was emotional. I've watched my friends win the team time trial. I watched Jonathan Vaughters win that day on a different team. So I thought it was just going to be one of those elusive things that, I've been so close to, and I won so many different other events, but not the team time trial in the Tour de France.
Very, very emblematic and very dear to me that the first stage win in this organization in the Tour de France was as a team. It's the only event that all 9 guys get to celebrate. Actually, not even all 9 guys, all 140 people in the organization get to celebrate, because it really does take a team effort. And when you look at the results say Garmin-Cervélo won. The need for perfection and precision is far above what it is in other events. It's an event that, of course, you need to be one of the strongest, but you don't have to be the strongest to win it. You just have to be the most flawless. Our team that day, we were a diamond.
This could be Garmin-Cervélo's first ever stage win at the Tour de France, and they've done it. Garmin-Cervélo have won the team time trial at this year's Tour de France.
4 seconds, it's not very much. All those little things, when I watch the other teams, I don't see that. I don't see the same level of selflessness. I don't see the same level of precision. I don't see the same level of sacrifice. I see a lot of strength in them, but I don't see the bond. At the start of the tour, I set 5 objectives for the guys. We're going to put a rider in the top 10. We're going to wear the yellow jersey. We're going to win the team time trial, and we're going to win the team classification.
But the team classification wasn't something that just happened, on the Champs-Élysées. It had happened over, 21 days. There was one last time where Dave and I were at the front, and he said, screw this, we got to do this now or else it's over. And Stuart O'Grady's in the back of me yelling at me that they were being greedy because we had already won 2 stages and had the jersey for 7 days. And I said, yeah, but you know what? I don't know how many times you stood on the podium on the Champs-Élysées, but I haven't done it, and I'm going to do this right now.
When we were walking off the podium after we'd been presented with Best Team of the Tour de France, me and Christian kind of hung back and kind of took a photo of ourselves with my camera, because it was just like, how the hell did this happen? Very few riders get to stand on the Tour de France podium in the best team. It's doing a team that we've built ourselves and take such pride in.
And I can definitively say that on the Champs-Élysées, if you look carefully, we were the most successful team in the Tour de France, but we were also the most tired team in the Tour de France. When I came into professional cycling, it was the Wild West in terms of doping. And these guys, it just doesn't even exist. It's not an option. It's just not there at all. And so their concerns are totally different. Their concerns are, how am I going to win races someday? You know, how am I going to help my teammates out today? How am I going to finish this really hard race?
The older guys in the peloton right now are, for the most part, guys that kind of, you know, put their foot down and said, look, we don't want this happening. You know, this can't continue. And for me to be able to come into that, you know, at this current time, it's kind of cool. You know, you see those guys and you say, yeah, right on, Christian. It's like, I respect that. Thanks.
I'm so happy that, you know, people finally cracked down and fought doping, and, you know, we can thank JB for leading the movement, and that, you know, it's a real man sport now.
You know, our success this year started in February. We started winning races, and then we didn't stop winning races until the end of the year. And that success has been due to a whole array of riders. There is no individual that you can say, well, that's the guy that made Garmin-Cervélo's year. It was the culmination of each and every person on the team, and each and every person on the team being supported better than they had in the past, being more ambitious they had in the past, and having the team infrastructure behind them being more organized than we have been in the past. I think we're just getting better at the job.